Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to Write Your Light. I am Eva Andrea, and I'm so grateful you're here. This space is all about honoring your voice, your story, and the light that only you can bring into the world. And if you enjoy today's episode, it would mean the world if you liked, commented, or shared it with someone who might need a little extra light too. Your support truly helps this community grow. And if you're feeling called to dive deeper into your writing journey, I'd love to invite you to my writing circle, a warm, supporting space to write, flow, and shine together. And you'll find the link. It's waiting for you in the show notes. All right, let's jump in.
Today is a sacred one. We are celebrating Mary Magdalene's feast day today as I publish this interview. And I couldn't think of a better guest than inviting my dear soul sister, Jane Astara Ashley, to come and be with us and sharing this energy of the Magdalene. It's not so long ago that I met Jane the first time, and I just instantly felt this soul sister connection with her, this feeling of, I know you, girl. And it's just so beautiful to have you here in my podcast, Jane. But before I bring you on, I want to say Jane is a publisher and a book midwife and a priestess. So she is really walking this path of weaving the light between the physical and the non-physical and embodying the divine feminine in such a beautiful way. And can't wait to celebrate with her today, because today is also the official day of publishing her new book that we will also talk much more about. So settle in and enjoy, and a warm welcome to you, Jane. How are you feeling today?
Thank you, sister. I'm so good. I'm so happy to be here. And thank you so much for hosting and sharing about the work that this web of sisters has been a part of for the past year. So really appreciate that.
It's so beautiful, and I can't wait to hear everything about it and to hear about your path as well. And let's start, as I used to, by asking you, what does write your light mean to you?
That is such a perfect question, actually, because I have been thinking a lot about this. And in fact, I have an immersion journey that I offer that's called Magdalene's Call, Awaken Your Writer of Light. And so I really feel that being a writer of light is about a choice of approaching the way we express ourselves from a place of devotion and from a place of intention to serve the collective and to walk the way of love and to sow the seeds of love via our writing. And whether that's through a personal story, a journey, through trauma, through fiction, through poetry, through even just journaling and free writing and morning pages that nobody else would ever read. When we access that place inside of ourselves where our muse can be awakened and can be engaged, then I really feel that it's a way for us to be in service to the world, to be a channel for love via our writing.
Oh my goodness, you are speaking my heart here. I love everything about what you just said. It makes so much sense to me, and that's definitely what you are doing, and I think what I'm doing and what many of us on this path and also the listeners of this podcast are doing. So that is really touching me, how we can make a difference without writing.
Yeah.
And I'm so curious to hear a little more about your journey, because when do you feel that you started this journey of writing light? Can you take us back to that moment where that maybe happened for the first time?
Gosh, yeah. So my background was as a graphic designer and as a creative director. So, and my first portal into my soul was not through writing, it was through making art and through painting. And I went to art college. So writing came later, much later, actually. Visual expression came first. And then I began to design books and work as a person who would put the package together, produce a book. And it morphed into publishing and book midwifery as I began to understand the power of storytelling. And I had always been writing, as a young person, but it wasn't a primary tool for me to know myself. And so then later in my life, after I went through a divorce when I was 38, I'm 55 now. So about, when I was 38, that's when things really fell apart and the awakening happened. And I needed to come back to my own sense of truth and spirituality, which I had exiled myself from God, really, since I was 15 years old. And so that life experience took me down into the dark. And it was there that I began to understand the power of writing for my own healing, because then I could face my soul on the page and I could just allow it to flow through me. And it was so immediate and easy to be able to do at any time, anywhere, just a pen and a piece of paper. And so I continued to make art as well, but writing really came online for me. And so I would say just over the process of the past 15 years, having worked with authors as an author advocate, both in corporate and in my agency, my entrepreneur life, I've seen how important it is for us to be self-expressed and to be able to voice it. And as I've learned more over the years about the suppression of our voices as divine feminine beings, to be able to clear anything in the way of that, to be able to speak up and to share our truth via our writing publicly, how wonderful that is and how needed it is for the world.
Mm.
So in my own life, it wasn't so much about publishing a book. However, I have written my own book too, which will come out in the fall. But it's been more about being an author advocate for others. But now what I teach primarily is cultivating a devotional writing practice. Because regardless of what happens to the work on the other side of expressing it, there's so much transformation that happens in the journey along the way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It makes so much sense to me, and what a beautiful journey that has been. I love that, how your awakening has been like in these stages, and where you're taking it now. And I can so much relate to your passion also for helping others to bring their voices out there, as a book midwife, right? Because that's also been a great part of my calling, that I actually have needed some time to understand, actually, because I also love the writing itself, but it's like they go hand in hand for me. It's like you have to express yourself and then bring your soul family with you, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
And the devotional writing, I love how you put that, and how I've been thinking of that now. We've been talking a bit in this podcast about AI lately, and it's not so much about the output, but it's about what does it do to you when you write, right? How does it make you befriend yourself and your soul, right?
Yeah.
So much deeper.
It's so much deeper. It's a journey. And it is like gestating a baby. When we have that impulse, that creative impulse, and the idea that we commit to and say, okay, here's where I'm going to go with this idea. And then I'm going to create the discipleship to my muse, to the idea, and to spirit, so that I can co-create this and birth this idea with spirit as my co-author in a way. Then that's when all the initiations come up. That's when the resistance happens. That's when the patterns show up, the old patterns of procrastination. And I think one of the things that I've pondered, and also with my clients, is why are we not giving ourselves what we want? Right? To get underneath, like, well, why would I sabotage this? Why would I not create space for it or allow myself to go into that vulnerable cauldron of transformation. If I want this, why am I not doing it? And it's just fear, it's just fear. Writer's block is fear. And so it really does force us to alchemize the fear all along the way. And for me, nature has really been the tool that has helped me alchemize fear and continues to,
Tell us more.
today.
Tell us more about that. I'm curious.
Well, every time I go outside here in North Carolina and walk on the river trails where I live, uh, I'm more in communion with the earth. I feel myself connected. I can feel the gravity. I can root down and I can feel like I belong. And the water itself has taught me so much. The river has taught me so much about how to go with the flow, about how to navigate obstacles, about how to trust and surrender and backfloat and not go against the current. So many ways of how to live in communion with nature that I think have been stifled in our modern culture. I sit in front of my computer a lot, and it really doesn't feel that great. Even if it's creative and I'm in connection with other people, it just doesn't feel that great. So going outside instantly sort of relieves me of some of that, some of those shackles. And so it feels liberating, it feels free, and I can just release through my body into the earth what's not working. Well, the mind torture, and come back into some clarity and into just into my body, back into my body. And then
So,
writing from that place is very different than writing from the linear left brain. So going out into nature really catalyzes my right brain creative flow and heart-based knowing and writing and being able to receive from the divine what wants to be written through me.
oh, I can really relate so much to this. It's also this very feminine, divine feminine, a receptivity that
Yeah.
you tap into, right, when you do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know you are very connected to Mary Magdalene's energy as well. So
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, I'm so inspired by everything you're saying here. So it's like, I want to talk more about Magdalene also. But before
Yeah.
we go into that, I just got to say, there was like a word you said a little earlier, discipleship. My
Hmm.
God, it gave me like full body chills.
Hmm.
What is that devotion uh, to bringing forth what is within you and let it
Yeah.
save you, as it says in the Gospel of Thomas, right? It's like this real devotion to your soul's expression. And just thank you for the way you put words to that. I think also we long for devotion. It's
Hmm.
like something, I've been thinking about that, at least that in modern spirituality, I think there's a kind of a soul desire for devotion that we not talk enough about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes. This is the longing, right?
Mhm.
And in a lot of my own deep dives into spirituality, and for me, it's about coming back to my Christian roots after many years of being no way, not going there, right? And the Magdalene is actually what has brought me back to this place of being willing to explore my own roots, ancestral roots, and my own spiritual roots, and to come back home to what is true for me. And that happens to be Magdalene in Christ. And as I unravel a lot of the armor that had been put up around my heart over the years and begin to melt some of that armor, I begin to feel the seeds of discipleship to that, to love, to God is love, to Magdalene and Christ as representing unity consciousness and coming together and serving and getting out of our own self-centric way of me, ego, 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 chasing revenue, hustle culture, all of that just feels so distorted from what's true. And so discipleship, I've learned from exploring some of my early Christian roots around, well, what is that? What is it? I used to think of it as discipline, like got to create a schedule, got to show up, be disciplined, do what you do it, just do it, do it, do it. But that felt too hard and too authoritative and too punitive. And so it became more of, instead of discipline, discipleship. Okay, how can I be in discipleship to the call and to the relationship that I want with Christ and with Magdalene and God and Mother Nature and the Divine Feminine and Holy Father, Mother God, as a divine child, as somebody, as a soul on this planet with a purpose. And so that requires a choice, just like faith requires a choice. And so it's just been this journey, and I'm still in the midst of it, of discerning, well, what do I believe? What's not mine? What can I trust? How do I learn to choose love and compassion and service and get out of my own way? And so that's what discipleship has become for me, is this model in a way. Mary Magdalene was the apostle of the apostles. She was a disciple of the way of love. So she has been a beautiful model for me of devotion, of walking the path, of fortitude, of moving, of being able to console others, of being devoted to love, to Christ, to healing, empowerment and coming into community in a way that is in service of the collective. So she has opened up the door for me to discipleship.
It's so very beautiful. It makes me feel like crying listening to you. I feel the homecoming in that, and the beauty and the power of this. And it's also something not many speak of. And I also feel like asking you, because do you see yourself as a Christian, or do you see yourself as most like spiritual? You don't have to answer that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm happy to. I don't know what I am.
Yeah.
I don't know what I am.
Yeah.
I know I used to identify with the New Age, but I really don't anymore. I'm unraveling from a lot of that because it just feels like I've been swimming in this soup, and I just am not sure the origins of it, the intentions of a lot of the matrix. And so I've had to really kind of come back, sort of cut the feeding tubes that have been stuck into me from all these different people, belief systems, programs, trainings, modalities, healing modalities, this whole sort of drive that women are taught to have to chase their healing and their wholeness. And I just don't feel like that we need to do that necessarily. Yes, I believe in healing trauma and finding ways to open our heart and to drop from the head into the heart and somatic work. Yes. And I was a therapist. I understand the power of healing, of what that is. I've had to do a lot of it myself. And I also feel like we outsource a lot of that to the culture, rather than finding the connection internally with God, to be able to surrender to the creator in whatever version of that is showing up. For me, it happens to be right now Christian. And so I'm grappling with this. What does that mean to me as a Christian priestess? Because some people would call that demonic. Some people might call that false. I don't know. But I'm just beginning with the relationship. The relationship with the Magdalene and with Christ is what showed up first, in order for me to begin to trust again that there is something that I can choose to have faith in. And so my experience in Glastonbury,
Yeah.
when this book idea came in, I was on an anointing table. I was in anointing training, and and there were like three people's hands on me, hands on healing with essential oils and deep, deep transformational work. We were in the Magdalene Rose Chapel that sits on the ley line, the Magdalene and the Archangel Michael ley lines. It was a vortex of
I know.
divinity, and so I felt Magdalene and Christ show up on my either side of me, and and in this mystical space, I heard her say, "Beloved, it is time. Call them in, make the offer." And she was lighthearted. She was like, just make the offer. Don't make a big deal out of it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just do it. And it's time. I very clearly heard that. And I had the seeds of the anthology working for a while. So this was like the push, the confirmation. Like, okay, now is the time. Just stop thinking about it and do something. And then as I heard that and she whispered that, Christ came right in front of me and said, "You are to sow the seeds of my love." And I was just like, oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't ready for that. And didn't know what to do with that because I had basically been angry at Jesus for a long time and just basically put him out of my awareness and just was like, no, no, it's all, I was brainwashed when I was 15, forget it. So that was very surprising. So I've had to really look at that and understand, okay, well, obviously Magdalene was in devotion with Christ historically as an apostle. And there was a deep, beautiful relationship there that I do believe was real. And so, therefore, if Magdalene can be here for me in a way in which I can feel her and be in relationship with her, then of course Christ can too. And do I want that? Am I going to say yes to that?
Mhm.
And so I've said yes to that, which is a whole thing because I don't know what it means. It's scary. I don't know who, it's a solo journey that I'm on, and it's a sovereign kind of solo journey, and it's not so much about looking for somebody to tell me what's true, but to really feel and discern for myself what is true and then take action. If it's in the good of the collective and if it's for the good of the one, then I'm trusting it.
Wow. I'm so moved by your story here. That must have been such a turning point for you, and such a confirmation. But I understand also the confusion in it, or the kind of walking into the unknown that is
Yeah.
kind of this hero's journey that you are called on, right?
Hmm.
And thank you for being so see-through and kind of, what do you say? Yeah, taking us with you into that unraveling of your truth and finding your truth, or letting your truth find you, or however we would put that, right? Because I
Yeah.
think that is a journey we are all on in different ways.
Yeah.
I would just say that I really resonate with this, because for me, that has always been the path since I left the very Christian community I was born into and had to
Hmm.
kind of leave all the dogmas behind.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have a Bible in my house for 10 years because I was like so associated with all the dogma.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
needed to find my truth and the direct experience of the God energy, right?
Yeah.
And that also happened to be very much in the form of Magdalene, Jesus, all these beautiful guides. So I can so much
Yeah.
relate to that journey, but also how it's like about finding, it's not so much about labeling it, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also sometimes ask myself, so what am I then if they inspire
Mhm.
me so much, right? And if
Yeah.
I walk the path of love.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
really relate to that kind of, it's we are letting go of old identities all the time, and I think
Yes.
good thing
Yeah.
actually, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's so hard to label it. I don't know what it is. It's always changing and evolving. And um I just literally don't have the words for it other than the process of feeling, of exploring, of reading, of, um, I visited many churches just to feel like what's going on there for me now. Do any of them resonate? And it's an exploration. So far, I haven't, found a home or haven't found any like absolute answers to anything.
Mm.
But somehow was feeling this call to just begin to visit and to pop in again and to see, just to see. So that's kind of where I am with that. But mostly nature is my church.
Mm.
And that's where I feel really connected to Holy Mother, Holy Father, the earth and my muse and to other creatures.
Mm.
So,
What a
so
cathedral you have there.
yes, exactly. Yeah.
It's the best. Oh, wow. And then you said yes to this calling of writing this or creating this anthology.
Yeah.
Um, Tell us more about that. How did that come together? And what are you the most kind of
Mhm.
moved by in this process? I'm curious to hear more.
Oh gosh. Well, when I was ordained as a priestess, I in my ordination journey with Elaine Kalila, who was the focalizer who ordained me, my mentor for many years, we um, we were in sacred space together, and Magdalene very clearly dropped in for me as a guide through the dark, as a dark mother, because I've been going through a lot of grief. I'd had a 2-year journey of struggles. My dad died. I moved after 25 years to a new state. I became an empty nester. My dog and I were attacked by another dog, and my ear was torn, and my dog had multiple surgeries, and my whole business, I just had to stop. I let go of my team. I was just lying on the floor with my dog for like 3 months. And it was very much that during that time when I felt the presence of Great Mother and of Mary Magdalene, and mostly as she was waiting at the foot of the cross and witnessing the suffering of her beloved, that's what I felt that I was being held through. And so she invited me to sit with a black veil over my head in prayer and to meet her under the veil. And so that's what I did. I literally would sit with the black veil over my head and be with her in that space. And it was very healing and beautiful and comforting and consoling. And I was able to find my way back. And so that created the bond between she and I. And so the idea of honoring her in an anthology was there because this was a very profound experience for me. And I had done many anthologies over the years with themes like, being a feminine evolutionary, sacred body wisdom, sovereignty, prosperity, all kinds of different topics around the divine feminine, but never Mary Magdalene. And so then when I found myself in that ordination journey with Magdalene and knowing I am a Magdalena, like I knew that I was meant to walk the path of love, the way of love, and to be in devotion on that path. That was very clear to me, that I was choosing that. And so then it just has just been this journey of allowing her to show me how to get through life, how to create, how to listen, how to discern and trust, and then take action. And so So I knew I was going to do it, but I hadn't really put the pieces together yet, created the landing page or, done all the tech or figured out the parameters. So on that anointing table, when I heard her say, now, beloved, is the time, call them in, make the offer. Then I was up for the next 24 hours receiving all the downloads for all of it. And I had set it up in a way that I had set up anthologies before, where there were multiple tiers. There was like a standard author tier, and then there was a featured author tier, where if you pay a little bit more, then you get your name on the cover and you get a little bit more marketing support, etc. Well, then I heard from her after I made the offer, those spots filled up really fast. The book filled extremely fast without me really marketing it, just simply reaching out to people, which was a shock to me too, that it would just fill itself, basically. But then I heard from her, no, you need to get rid of those featured author spots. This is not about hierarchy. This is about synarchy. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was kind of nervous because now I felt like maybe I'm just going to disappoint those people who wanted those featured author spots and had already paid for it. So I called them and I said, I need to refund you your money for this piece. And because Magdalene has said it's just going to be one tier. It's a circle. It's not a ladder. It's a circle, a spiral. And so everybody was like, oh, sure, no problem. They trusted it too. And so that was an interesting thing that I got that exact directive around the structure of the project, that it was to be as much as possible non-hierarchical, not the way I used to do it, not the old paradigm, and that the intention was to sow the seeds of love. And it wasn't about numbers, metrics, best-selling, sales, all of that. And so I could just surrender and let all that go. And it's been so fun to not have to even think about that, and just trusting that it's on the other side of it is so much grace for the readers, for the authors, for my business, for the collective, for all of us. It's a win-win. And
Wow.
yeah,
Love and love how you also, because one thing is to hear it, another is to trust it and
yeah,
follow the guidance, right? And surrender in a way your ego, maybe ideas about how it should be.
yeah,
And that makes it blessed in a special way. I'm so sure
yeah,
about that.
yeah. And
Mm.
then, originally I thought, okay, it'll be 22 authors because that's Magdalene's number. And I love that number. Well, it's 33 authors. It ended up being 33, which is Christ's number.
Mhm.
And so now it's a 400-page book and it's beautiful. And I just said, yes, okay, 33. Even if it's going to be a big book, that's okay too,
Mhm.
So
It's a
just
little
listening.
Bible.
Yeah. So just letting it all unfold in a way like the rose, just letting it unfold and kind of surrendering into the journey, but also taking action. I mean, that's the other piece that I've been very clear about in this discipleship piece. It's not about sitting home by myself behind my computer being all spiritual. It's more boots on the ground now. Get out there and do something and be in community and serve. And let this book be a magnet for that. So
That's
it is, and it's perfect timing because we're going to be donating the money from the pre-orders to the food bank and to the flood relief here in my town. And so really serving people in need right now, right here.
That is so beautiful. I love that inspiration. Tell us a little more about that, because maybe everyone haven't heard about what happened in your place.
Oh yeah. So we're a week away, or no, today is the 22nd. So we've launched the book, but a few weeks ago,
Mm.
my village where I live in North Carolina was flooded, catastrophic floods. The river where I live, where I walk every day on the trails, raised 22 feet. and washed out the bridge that I walk across to get from my house to my mom, who's in a condo in this river mill building right on the river. Washed out the bridge, washed out the trails. I mean, it was devastating. It flooded everything. My house was okay because we were on a little bit of a hill, but there was a church 2 doors down that got flooded out and everything. The space, the yoga studio where I do my women's circles got destroyed. Many of the businesses, many of the homes. And so it's been a disaster. The cleanup began pretty quickly, and the village is very a tight community. So it's been a beautiful thing to witness the cleanup and the community coming together to help each other. And it's just ironic because originally I knew I was going to donate the money to the local food bank here because there are 30,000 people in my county alone in food scarcity, even before the floods. Now there's even more, and there's people in water scarcity. So it just is like, wow, the timing couldn't be more ironic that now I suddenly have a stream of abundance that I can flow out via this project that all of us together, the authors and myself, can catalyze
It's so
on the
beautiful.
ground help for people who need it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love the way you think here and how you are listening to that as well. And also for you who are listening, that when you buy this book, you are actually supporting people in need right now. So
Yeah.
that's such a beautiful knowing to have, I think, for everyone, and that we can be a part of, you know, just bringing a little more heaven to earth where it's needed, right?
Yeah.
By buying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what Magdalene was all about
Mhm.
and is all about is that community-based service, blessing, and being part of the change, being part of the wave of change. And I think that's why so many modern women today resonate with that, with her story, in order to find purpose together and to do it together.
Mhm. It's so beautiful. And I'm imagining that in these chapters of the book, we are also hearing stories. Can you tell us a little more about how that kind of what that looks like in the
Oh
book?
my gosh. Ooh, it's so powerful. There's a range of stories, from journeys of transformation and healing from trauma, coming into the body, into relationship with the body and with our creative energy and our womb wisdom. And there's also some fiction in the book,
Oh,
storytelling in that way. There's poetry and transmissions, and the authors are from all over the world. There's authors from France, from the Netherlands, from the UK, from the US, from South Africa, from Australia. So there's a really beautiful range of stories, based on, whatever it was. Magdalene Unveiled, discover the way of love, healing, and holy fire. So they all sort of weave into those themes of being consumed by the holy fire and by the Magdalene, and how did that change their life, and how did they get there? And so each story has its own frequency and its own transmission in a way. So it's the kind of book that you don't have to read from start to finish. You can just open up to stories at random and read a story, a chapter, and receive so much.
I love that. Storytelling is like these mirrors that we can reflect ourselves in, right? And I think
Yeah.
sometimes by reading a book like this, it might be just one story
Hmm.
that just hits home, that just
Yeah.
really make you come home or
Yes.
make you realize what you needed to realize, so it's that's the
Yeah.
value of bringing so many different voices and stories together. It's like a diamond of so many facets.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. It is like a diamond, fractals of light from
Mhm.
all directions, and some will resonate and some may not, and that's okay. Really, my vision is if one heart,
Mhm.
if there's one pinprick of light for one reader, that's enough. And I know there's more than that. So it's already a beautiful, yeah, a beautiful yes, like thank you. It's already been done. I already feel the hearts that are going to be touched by this, because
Mhm.
how can they not? Because the authors go through such a journey, like we talked about at the beginning, to write the story and to find the courage to share truth and to be brave and bold and show up in the
Mhm.
face of persecution or cancellation or whatever it is we might be facing in the world when we speak up and show up in this way.
Wow. It's fantastic. It's such a beautiful book. I can't wait to have it myself and to read it. And I will encourage everyone listening here who feel the call to go and find the book. Where can they find it and get it for themselves and their friends? And
Yeah, so this is the cover.
Oh, you have it here, yeah.
This is a proof, so just ignore that gray bar, but this is the art. The cover art is
Yeah.
by Sue Ellen Parkinson. And yeah, so the book is available on Amazon and wherever books are sold, online. And you can go into bookstores and ask for it to be ordered through a bookstore. It's called Magdalene Unveiled. There's an ebook and a paperback available.
Awesome. I will put the links for everything below, at least like to Amazon.com or something, and
Yeah,
people
yeah,
can
exactly.
go and enjoy shopping.
And
Um,
also most of the authors have provided a sacred gift at the end of their chapter. So there's a lot of opportunity to follow those links and to receive more tools and more ways to integrate the information in the book and to connect with the authors.
Fantastic. It sounds like a perfect summer book. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
what else to bring to the beach or to the hammock than a book like this?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's meant to be on the side table for a long time, and it's meant to be worked with and written inside of, and like you said, almost like a Bible for inspiration, for new
Mhm.
light to come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful, Jane. I'm so grateful that you said yes to that very kind of clear calling to create this beautiful portal into the Magdalene energy as this book is. And I wonder, since this is, this podcast is also for writers who are feeling a call to write their light.
Hmm.
And I know you've had this incredible journey yourself, but also how you're working with other writers as well. Um, if you should give an encouragement to someone who's sitting here listening, feeling a longing to write, feeling a calling to write, but maybe
Yeah.
hesitate or feels scared or feels
Yeah.
stuck or something, what would your word of encouragement be?
Mm. My words would be to create a practice in the morning of morning pages, which is simply just journaling. And if you can get your cup of tea or your coffee in the morning and a pen and a journal and just write longhand for 3 pages without stopping and without pulling your pen off the page, and just see what happens. And even if it's gibberish, even if it makes no sense, even if it's just the same question over and over again, what am I writing? What should I be writing right now? What should I be writing? I don't even know what to write. Just that will open up the channel to receive something. And even if it's illegible and you don't go back and even read it, that's okay too, because it's basically clearing your system of all of the stuff, all of the static that would block the light, the flow of your creative expression. So it's working regardless of what the result is. So I would say just start with that, because you're a writer if you write. It doesn't matter what you write or how you write. If you write, you're a writer. And that's why we have editors and book midwives and other people to help. If you decide you want to produce something or write a book or write an article or anything else to be consumed by the public, then there's people to help with that. So don't worry. It's just get started, build a relationship with this muse inside of us who is waiting to be engaged with. So I would say that's the practice I would invite people to start, and don't make it a big deal. Just let it be easy, simple, and it becomes fun, and it becomes a beautiful way to be in devotion. To be in
Mhm.
devotion. Yeah.
It's the first step in the discipleship, actually.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. It's very, very, it rings very true to me what you're saying. I think that would be my advice too. I know
Hmm.
how much of a difference that makes, that practice,
Yeah.
and also how freeing it is, because it's like, as you say, you don't make a big deal out of it. It's not
Yeah.
about the result, it's about leaning into the flow.
Yeah.
Um, and it inspires me also to share that actually today, on the 22nd, as we publish this beautiful podcast, I have invited people into my writing circle to write a letter and receive a letter from Mary Magdalene
Mm.
in my circle. So I'll put a link for that as well under this podcast. So if you feel drawn to do this flow writing and starting with connecting with Magdalene and hear what she has to tell you, you can also
Yeah.
connect with that tonight, actually.
Wonderful. Yes,
Yeah,
that's so great.
just
Perfect.
want just wanted to happen, because I do this circle every second week
Yeah.
with my writers group, but it's like now it's like open up and invite everyone and let's hear what Mary Magdalene has
Yeah.
to tell you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Especially today. So perfect. So perfect. And like you're suggesting, it's just being willing to invite her in.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it.
Yeah, it's so.
And, and I've had clients too say, I really want her to be here, but I can't find her. And I've never had an encounter with her. And so I don't know. And and my response to that has been, just keep trying, just keep going, because that has been her message for me through all of the stuff, is just keep going. Just keep going. Try again, try again, try again. And, and see what happens. Because without that, there's nothing.
You have to be open and invite her in, right? Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes so much
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, and
Yeah.
also she's just, even when I think when you feel a longing to connect with her, it's because there's a connection. You wouldn't feel the longing
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
couldn't connect, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's because there's a
Mm-hmm.
frequency, there's a connection, and it's
Mm-hmm.
deep
Mm-hmm.
within us as well. This divine feminine magnet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yes.
gosh, we could continue on for ages, you and I. I feel we have
I
so much in
know.
common and so much to talk about.
I
So,
know.
but I want to start wrapping up a little bit here, to honor everybody's time. I'll have you back on the podcast, I think, because I feel we have more to talk about. But I would like to ask you three weird questions.
Okay.
We are wrapping up. So, if you could invite Mary Magdalene to tea tomorrow,
Mm.
what would you ask her?
What would I ask her?
What would you talk to her about?
Oh,
What
mm.
would you like to know?
I would ask her, how can I be more like you? How can I be more devoted to love, to the way of love, and to serving? And what does it take? What can you teach? I would just ask her for directions. Help me. What do I need to do? Who do I need to be in order to be more embodied in the feminine Christ consciousness frequency? Because
Wow.
sometimes it feels like I'm just figuring it out as I go. And if she was here, maybe there could be some more direct uh, direction.
That sounds beautiful. I would love to be along for that tea too. I think I
Yeah.
have a question or two for her as well.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Amazing. Now, do you have a favorite word at the moment?
Well, the word is flow.
Mm.
Flow. Yeah. That the book that I have written that has not been published yet is called Flowing with Grace: 7 Steps to Navigate Change in Turbulent Times. And it's all about the river, the power of the river. And now that I've experienced this flood and the river has flooded and the force of nature has shown herself, it's shown me a lot about impermanence. And so I just keep hearing this word flow. It's all about the water. No matter what the water's doing, the water keeps flowing.
Oh, that's so good. And it makes me also feel so intrigued to read your next book.
Yeah,
Love that.
yeah, yeah.
Wow, it's gonna be
That's
amazing.
all we have. That's all we can do is just flow like water flows.
So good. Now, is there something that always make you feel more creatively alive? Even if it seems a little silly, maybe. Do you have any kind of weird, silly thing you're doing?
Well, I love to work with essential oils,
Yeah.
and I always have them here with me, and I'm always putting them on my body and smelling them. And so I work with oils. I anoint myself. I anoint my clients. I anoint my words. I anoint my paper, my post-it notes. I anoint everything.
So cute.
And so it's just this like sensory experience of just ecstatic joy that the oils give me. And they're very sacred. And the plant wisdom, I commune with them to receive the wisdom of the plants that are inside these bottles. So that's my ritual, and that's my joy and my love, and it activates love and beauty and sensory stimulation. So
Yeah.
it really makes my creativity zip.
Yeah. Sip.
Yeah.
I love that. Maybe you have to, if you haven't already, anoint your new book, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would
Thank
be
you.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. And it's also very embracing of the divine feminine priestesshood thing, right? To use the
Yeah.
anointing. But I think
Yeah.
I'll consider anointing my post-it notes. That's a
Yes.
that's a beautiful idea.
Everything. Yes. And art. Like if I make art, I use the oils in the paint.
Yeah.
And I
Oh, me
anoint
too.
the art with the paint with the oils. And we'll make a spray bottle with
Mhm.
water and put some oil, essential oils in, and then spray that on the paint.
You're such a little witch. I love it. In the best meaning of that word. Yeah. Fantastic, Jane. This has been so delightful and profound. My heart has been moved to tears many times throughout this conversation.
Mm.
I have felt the beauty of your heart like a rose, and I think everyone listening here must have felt the same. Um, it's a reminder to all of us of living in devotion to our calling, of saying yes to our guidance wherever it takes us. And I just feel so blessed by this conversation, I gotta say. And I just want to thank you with all my heart for being you,
Yeah.
for spreading your scent, and for writing this amazing book. And I send so many blessings to the launch, and can't wait to hear from all the listeners in the comments as well. What did it give you to be here today? What did it stir in you? Share with us. We would love to hear that. And thank you so much to you, Jane.
Thank you so much, Eva, for your sisterhood and for your support and for bringing me on to be here in this beautiful conversation. And I plan to join your Magdalene writing circle
Oh,
to write the letter. So I'm looking forward to that. Thank you so much for that invitation to us.
wow.
And such a joy to be here. Thank you, sister.
Thank you. What a joy. I can't wait to see you tonight.
Yes.
So much love. So much
Much
love to
love.
everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for being here with us. And if you want to have a meeting with your divine muse, go to my page www.eva-andrea.com marymaglene.com for a guided writing meditation loved by thousands over the years. Thank you for listening, everyone. Share this episode with your friends and hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. So much love.